Okay, it's one. So at least I want to start the recording, even if not everybody is here. Um, Carla, remind me where you're from.
Um, that's, whoops, hold on.
Or maybe you,
Oh
you
yeah,
can
I am
share
on.
that. I'm trying to figure it out with your
Okay.
area code.
Oh, the area code is Portland, Oregon, but I don't know that I can claim that I'm from there.
Okay, I understand. Have you lived in Portland or is that where you live now?
I have been in Oregon for 15 years and I'm putting my house on the market and I won't be in Oregon anymore. I'm putting my house on the market in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. Hopefully
Thank
on to the
you.
next adventure.
Yeah, I'll get to be an international homeless person and run around with you folks.
I think they still have that website and community couch surfing. But I'm sure you will not be in a shortage of places to stay.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited about it.
That is exciting. Well, welcome again and welcome Amber. And please correct me if I pronounce your name wrong. Vanida, Zanida. Please,
Nida.
Zanida with a long I. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. Okay, I like to be timely, but I do like to also give grace. So I'm gonna just let people take the next 2 to 3 minutes to trickle in. And that's when I will officially get started with the presentation. So feel free to
Sounds
get settled in the interim.
Hey Lisa, this is Talia speaking.
Oh, okay.
How are you?
I'm well, how are you?
I'm good. I love this hair.
Oh, thank you. It's about to come out, but it might be put right back in. But
Yeah.
thank you. Well, welcome. Thank you for letting me know that you guys are together, Zenaida and Talia. Just so I can do my administrative duties and check you guys. All right, 103 sounds like a perfect time to get started. Also, if people trickle in while we are talking and engaging, they can just get caught up either in the chat or by revisiting the video that I send out at the end of this session. So just
Excuse me, Lisa, did you stop presenting? Because my screen has gone black.
I have not stopped presenting. However,
Oh,
you do not have your camera on right now, so maybe. But
well, I
I'm
mean,
still here.
but no, I mean, I see myself when I turn my camera on, but I don't see you. It's not that I'm not seeing the other people. I'm not seeing the main screen, your
Hmm.
screen.
I'm not sure. I would say,
Because I was all along and it just disappeared.
okay, is anybody else having trouble seeing me?
We can see you, but we don't currently see a presentation.
Oh, okay. I'm not presenting
Huh.
anything yet. I haven't started sharing my screen, so
I can't figure out why I stopped seeing
Okay, sounds
you.
good.
I'm going to try a different browser. I'm going to come out of the meeting and go into a different browser. And
okay, that sounds good.
maybe that's it because you were there and then you disappeared.
Okay. Yes, I would try that. Okay, I hope Carla comes back to us and she can see me. Hi, Cache, welcome. We are just now getting started, so perfect timing. Okay, just a little housekeeping that I like to do because this is I'm not sure, Amber, if you've ever been, no, I don't believe you've ever been on an info session, but I know this might be some people's first time. Cachet is seasoned, so welcome back. But just so you know the flow of today. So I like to allot an hour and a half just because I want to respect people's time. We could go under, we could even go over, but whether or not you can stay the entire time is completely up to you. But I do allot an hour and a half for these sessions just because questions come up, maybe more places people are interested in learning about than the ones I initially dedicated this session to. So we should definitely have time to go over the three: Bali, the Caribbean cruise, Egypt, and Jordan that I have pre-planned to do today. But if there are any others, we should also have time to do them as well. But this is an information session, not, however, I don't like to just talk at people. I like to have a dialogue and a conversation. So this will be interactive. Feel free to put on your camera or leave it off, completely up to you. Sorry, Cachet, you're not feeling well. Cachet will be off camera today because they are not feeling well, but we are still glad you joined us. So thank you for showing up. I will try to be as mindful of the chat as possible while we are going on. I do have two screens, so if I'm not looking at you, I'm just looking at my other screen. And I will try to navigate towards the chat when I'm not looking at the other screen. Feel free to ask questions at will. You can, if I am talking like presenting something and you just want to remember what you're saying, what is on your mind, feel free to drop it in the chat, either just to me or to everybody. And I will get to your question as soon as I pause and take a break and look at the chat. But if we are doing just like an open share session, then you are welcome to just unmute yourself and share or ask a question. You don't have to raise your hand or anything. We're not that formal. Okay, without any further ado, I'll get started. I will introduce myself and then I will have everybody else who is able to introduce yourself via camera, or just your voice, or even in the chat if you prefer not to. And oh, one other thing, this is recorded so that it can be shared with people who signed up for the information session who couldn't make it, or if you have to hop off early, you will be emailed a link by tomorrow with the entire recording, so you can circle back, or if you want to share this with someone else who might be interested in the same trip, you can easily share the link. Okay, so we're gonna do our first set of icebreakers. I like to make this a little bit interactive. I'm gonna actually put, I'm actually gonna start a poll, but it's not gonna be all of the question. So you can look at the questions on the poll. You're welcome to answer on the poll, or you can just answer verbally when I tell you what the icebreaker is. So I would like to know everybody's name. If you want to share your pronouns, how you identify, please do. So my name is Lisa. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And then I also would love to know where people are currently calling from. I'm calling from Washington, D.C., which is where I live. And then let's do the first poll question. What is your zodiac sign? And my zodiac sign is a Taurus. I'm a Taurus. So name, pronouns, where you're calling from, and zodiac sign. I think Amber's reaching to unmute themselves. Maybe. Anybody can go next. This is a light one.
I was actually I was doing the poll, but good afternoon.
Good
Let's see.
afternoon. Sorry to put you on the spot.
It's all right. Let's see. My name is Amber. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. I am calling from Charlotte, North Carolina. And I feel like I'm missing a question. What was your other one?
Nope, that's perfect. I just
That
wanted
it?
to ease you guys in
All right, cool.
initially, so you're good. If I give too many prompts, I end up forgetting what they are, so that's perfect. And then
Gotcha.
off camera, you guys are welcome to answer 2 and 3. I'll probably ask a couple of these questions verbally in a future icebreaker, so we might circle back, but you did perfect, Amber. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Zenaida. I'm a Cancer and I'm calling from Harlem.
Thank you, Zenaida.
Oh, and Talaya, I'm with Talaya. Talaya's not in the room right now, but um, Talaya is she they Aries season and yep, also calling from Harlem.
Okay, welcome, New York. Thank you guys for being here.
Are we going in an order or anybody
No,
pop in or?
we are volunteering at will.
Okay. Hey, Harlem. I used to live on 148th between Convent and St. Nicholas.
Woo.
My name is Carla, and I celebrate the entire month of March, but my birthday was my last Friday, March 21st, first day of Aries.
Happy belated birthday.
Yes,
Thank
happy
you.
birthday.
Okay, I'm Sandy. I'm calling from Washington, D.C., and I'm a Libra.
Thank you, Sandy. Do you want to share pronouns? That was the other thing I asked.
Sorry, she, her.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Cache, pronouns they, them, calling in from Philly. Go Birds! And pronouns are they, them.
Thank you. That's perfect. You guys are doing great. I really appreciate that. And just for those who just joined us, there is a poll. Just so I can kind of gauge people's interest, you are welcome to fill it out. We might return back to some of these questions, to verbally share during a future icebreaker, but just wanted to ease everybody in. We have good representation. I'm glad that Carla is representing the West Coast. Thank you. But who
For at
knows
least another 2 weeks.
for at least another 2 weeks. I wish you much success with selling your house very quickly as soon as you list it on the market.
Thank
Okay, so
you. I hope so
welcome.
too.
Oh, yes. So I hope everybody's enjoying this Sunday afternoon. Thanks for spending it with Lesbifriends Travel. To start off, I'm going to share a little bit about the group, the company, and get into the first trip. Then I'll take a break, answer any questions, but also feel free to ask questions as I'm sharing the Bali trip. And Yes, and then we'll go to another icebreaker, and then we will do the next place. So bear with me because I have two screens. I just have to get the right one set up. Okay, you should be seeing something that says an info session for Bali.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you confirming. There's 13 slides, and so it's not that long. I probably will only present the first 10, because the last slides are going to be like the wrap up conclusion for the entire info session. But feel free if by chance I'm talking about a slide and whatever I'm talking about is not showing up on your screen, just let me know. You can unmute yourself and let me know, just because I'm using Canva and sometimes I have technical difficulties. Okay, so Bali, this is where we're going. Some of us in a couple of short months, very excited for our next Lesbifriends trip. We've actually been to Bali before last year, and it was such an amazing trip. And the group said they would go back. And actually, one person in the group is returning on this trip just a year later. So it's a great place to visit. I know a lot of people, some people have already been there. And if you can't go at Lesbifriends, travel this year, or in a future year with our group. I definitely just recommend it as a place to go on your own. So a little bit about Lesbifriends, just so you know who you might be traveling with and, trusting your next adventure with. I actually started Lesbifriends Travel. It used to be actually just an organic meetup called Wine and Lesbifriends, just a social event that turned into an annual winter event. starting back in 2011. I graduated from law school and I just wanted community, and I wasn't the type of person who wanted to go to clubs or like make those type of social venues. I really just like those small group connections. So I literally just invited some strangers and a couple people I knew into my one bedroom co-op's living room at the time. And about 10 people showed up and we had a good time. And I feel like energies connect. So I just kept it going on a monthly basis. Since then, I've hosted what this year, so far I've hosted this, since then I've hosted about 68 events. And I haven't kept track of the trips as well as I should, but we're at least 16 trips. And moving forward, we're just gonna vamp up and do even more. Now that it's not just me, I have a support team, if you will. So it's much easier to create the things with help and support. But yes, but also outside of the company, just so you know a little bit about my background as a profession, I am an attorney. I work for the federal government. And fortunately, my day job allows me a bit of free time to pursue my passion. And Lesbifriends started out as a passion project and then turned business for, just I feel like legitimacy's sake, but also, just so people would trust in trust that this was something not just like, a group of random people getting together, which is fine. Random people getting together is fine. But I did create, we are an S Corp, so, don't sue me. You won't need to, but, we're legit if you need to. um, Personally, I work as an attorney. Lesbifriends is a love of mine, and so I will hopefully always do it and be able to continue to create community in this way. Personally, I've been to 50 countries, so love it. Travel is a love of mine. And I just want to share my passion of learning, travel, a little bit of knowledge sharing, and good organizational skills with people to create lasting memories. I've met a lot of friends through the community, and I probably, more than myself connecting with people, I enjoy when other people connect with one another. So, that's why I do what I do, and that's a little bit more background about the group/company. So I know a couple of you in here have been on trips, which is great. Hopefully you can vouch for this. Um, and I'm not saying that I am reinventing the wheel by any means. There are a lot of groups that do things like similarly to Lesbifriends Travel. But I do like to highlight what we do offer and what type of experience you are going to get when you travel with us. I like to give what I want to receive. So this is kind of just the minimum that you're going to get, and hopefully it goes above and beyond. So for all of the trips that we go on, they are for our community, LBGTQ plus centered people who identify. I've even had people who are just curious come on trips. But it is a safe space for people who identify in this community. There are non-binary and trans folk that have traveled with us, and hopefully they resonate and identify with our community. I do understand that some people hear the name Lesbifriends and they think it's a lesbian group. I personally identify as queer. So if one day I'm a woman who loves women, but if I have a partner and they decide that they are, they might not feel like they're a woman, I will still love them. So I personally identify as queer, and I accept and embrace anyone in the group, no matter what identity they have, as long as they're not like a cis born straight male. Like that's not our people. But for the most part, we are all Black and brown. And so the itineraries that are created are centered around our group, who we are, who we resonate with. And I'm sure that Sandy and Cachet, as people who have been on trips, can attest to this. Most of the people who come on the trip are Black, identifying Black females and or non-binary folk. There are brown people who do come, and they are great, but mostly this is going to be a group of female-born Black people. So that's number one. I also like to highlight this just because I'm a frugal person, so I try to plan things on a budget, and I know sometimes it's easier to travel with a roommate. At the age of 41 going on 42, I would like my own room, but sometimes having your own room just means a lot more money. So, and luckily we are a community, we are a group, and sometimes roommate matching is like you found your future BFF or travel buddy. So I do like to highlight that if you are traveling as a solo traveler, in the group and are open to having a roommate so that the trip is a little bit more cost effective, there is a roommate matching system that occurs as well as an introduction before the trip so you can get acclimated with the person that you are traveling with. Um, so there's that. And then number three, location specific curated packing lists. I know that I love a list. I love making it and checking things off. And I think that sometimes just people like to have a little bit more structure. And sometimes with our busy lives and schedules, we just might not remember all the little details. So I'm going to hopefully help you through that with specific packing lists for the different places we go. You'll get something well ahead of time so you can appropriately plan for the destination that we're going to. So if we're going to be taking a boat ride, I'll tell you to bring Dramamine or some sort of bracelet to help with maybe motion sickness. Just like the little stuff like that. I know when we went to Thailand, I told people to bring umbrellas, not because it was going to rain, but because of the sun was going to be that hot. And some people forgot their umbrellas, and guess what? They ended up buying umbrellas because they needed it to protect themselves against the sun when we were out sometimes on walking tours. So I'll do the legwork for you and think about those little details so you can just relax and show up. In addition to that, we do offer for people who come on trips. There's no official like membership, like we're not charging a membership fee. We consider everybody a lesbian friend if you want to be part of our group and come to an event, but you really are a member, if you will, if you come to on a trip. And so by coming on a trip, we always have events that are accessible throughout the year that anybody can pay to come to. But sometimes during the year, I just want the people who are traveling together to connect. So I'll host events just exclusive for people who have traveled with us or who have upcoming travel. Because it's nice if you're going on a trip in September to have a summer meetup where you might get to meet someone ahead of time. Unfortunately, these are not virtual, so they are taking place in person. But I'm going to try to give enough, and I live in DC, so right now they're all centered in the DMV, but hopefully with proper notice, folks can take a quick trip to DC. I have a nice guest room and an Airbnb in my basement that I always like to make accessible for people during those events. So there's that. And then the pre-trip community group chat. Specifically, this is so that people who are coming on trips can get to know each other virtually together. Let's say I do 2 of those exclusive events for trip goers throughout the year. Well, there's still like 10 other months during the year. You might want to still connect with just the people going on your trip. So I start a group chat about a month in advance ahead of each trip. Right now I host it on WhatsApp, and WhatsApp is huge for people to communicate with one another in other countries. So it's just an app that everybody should have on their phone anyway. So we are able to connect about the trip, do introductions there, talk about packing, what to bring, just little things that might help get comfortable with the upcoming trip, but also getting to know the group. Because even if a trip is 5 or 6 days, these are the people that you're going to be spending that intimate space with in shuttle rides, private cooking classes, doing like maybe intimate excursions where it's just the group. So I like to just facilitate that group connection a little bit early. And then this is probably like my favorite part. Well, I love all the parts, but I really like putting together travel guides. They can be anywhere from 15 pages to 30 pages. But just it's basically like your information packet to get you prepared for the trip mentally, physically, emotionally. There might be some words from in a different language you can learn. Definitely, I will share more about the currency for that place. I even like to tell people suggested tipping, just so they're familiar with that. So I'm going to do all the legwork so that you can just, again, read, process, absorb it, and not have to do all the research yourself. So there's that. Excuse me. Any questions? Let me check the group chat. I just want to make sure I'm not missing. Okay, I'm going to still keep going then. Since I made that a little bit longer than I usually do. I'm going to get into Bali, open up the floor for any questions, and then we'll do another icebreaker. Okay, so I know a few of you, based on your registration for this information session, are interested in Bali, and at least one person is coming. So very excited about that. We are going to Bali again for the second time in June. We went in June last year. June's a great time to go because the weather's still mild. It's right in between, like not the slow season, but it's right before the busy season. So it's not going to be crowded. Things are still going to be affordable. And just, you get better deals and things aren't going to be as crowded as far as like going on the more popular excursions that people might be more familiar with. Like that famous swing setup where you can like wear the fancy dress and do the flowy thing. Like I've heard people do that and it takes them like it's an all day activity. We went last year and it was like we were in and out and like for a group of 10 of us, we were in and out for 2 hours on 9 different swings, which was pretty good. So I strategically picked this time of year to go. And if you've been on so as an overview of this trip, we are staying in 2 different places when we go to Bali. We're staying in Ubud and Seminyak. Ubud is more of a city feel. Both are just serene and picturesque, but Ubud's definitely more of like a smaller city feel. And it's very walkable. I would also say Seminyak is the same as far as being walkable. It has plenty of shops, plenty of places to eat. However, it's a beach city or a beach town. So the beach will be accessible from where we're at. And a lot of people like this is the perfect way to end this trip for them because, we're going to be on the go, seeing sights and temples and hanging out with elephants in the mud. So when we get to Seminyak, we'll kind of get to relax a little bit more and we'll be in a beach city. So our first accommodations, we are going to be staying in the heart of Ubud. And we're going to be staying in a very nice hotel, hotel/resort, the first half of the trip. Where we're staying in particular, it overlooks lush rice paddies, and an ancient water temple. It's very serene and picturesque. And then you open the door to the street and you'll see like the hustle and bustle, but it's the perfect location because it is kind of like a secluded paradise, but you still have access to all the things that you want to, that are very walkable. Our second accommodation is a private villa. At this point, we will know each other a lot better. And so I sometimes it's nice to have a community space, like at a hotel, like we don't have a private living room where we can just hang out. And we have to share a pool, but by breaking up the trip like this, when we are on the coastal town of Seminyak, then we'll have like a private haven just for our group to spread out, like settle in a little bit more, and become even more better acquainted with one another. I forgot these make noise. These are actually, because we've been to Bali, these are actually videos from our trip there last year. This one right here with the dancing, this was our welcome dinner, and we had a traditional Balinese dance. We were doing something similar this time around as well, where we get to experience a show, but also another day we'll get to learn a dance as well. Um, I'll just go through the itinerary day by day. I don't like to plan things the first day people arrive because traveling takes a lot out of you. For those who have not yet booked their flight who are coming to Bali, make sure you are having your arrival date on the first day the trip starts, so the 14th. Last year, some people, it might have been their like first long haul trip. And so when they went to go book their flight, they were actually booking it to depart on the day the trip started. And if you know that, well, I didn't know the time difference, but when you look up the time difference, you can see that Bali is significantly ahead of our time in the US, as well as it just takes a long time to get there. I think last year I took 2 or 3 flights to get there. So it took 24 hours minimum just to get there. So you will have to set that up so that you're arriving the day you're arriving the actual trip start date, not departing that day. Also, because I really just love talking shop and travel, I am willing and happy to schedule a one-on-one with you and we can meet and go over like looking at flights together, like what makes the best sense for you. I've done that with someone on this call on this in this meeting before, and I'm happy to do that for anybody who just wants to make sure that they're choosing the best flight for them. But when we get there, you will have you arrive at a very busy airport. There are probably like 50 cab drivers, transportation professionals waiting with signs for you. I give detailed instructions on how to spot the person you're looking for. They'll have a sign with your name. So, I don't know about you, but I love showing up at an airport and my name's on a sign. Makes me feel like really special and glamorous. So you will get private transportation to the hotel where you'll get checked in and we will do like just a small meet and greet. Again, I know travel takes a lot out of people, so we want people to just rest, feel comfortable, getting settled, and then we will get the real festivities started with our welcome dinner. So that is included, as well as a traditional Balinese show on the first night, something light. Also, even though the airport might only be like 30 minutes away, when according to a Google map, it does take some time because Bali has a lot of traffic and sometimes there's a lot of closed streets. So I also just like to leave time for people it might take 2 hours to get from the airport. I do try to give people just that heads up. Also, just side note, there will be just a meeting for the Bali participants, a virtual kickoff before the trip, as I do for all the trips. So we're going over the itinerary, but now as an overview of the trip. But for people who do come on the trip, we will do a very personalized kickoff slash further information session just for people coming on this trip. Okay, day 2, because you traveled all that way, and I'm learning, I know that some people, they still need a day to decompress, so we're doing something light and fun, and that will allow you to sleep in. Last year, I made the mistake of having so many activities. We were gone from like 8 in the morning till 8 at night, and people were like, I'm gonna miss it because I just need to sleep. So don't worry, there's built-in rest time here. On the second day, you will have a great breakfast spread at the hotel, and you'll get to relax for a little while. And then we will make our way to the sacred monkey forest sanctuary, which is for those who don't like monkeys, you will like monkeys when you're visiting this space. It's an outdoor space, like a park, if you will, but you can spend hours in it watching the monkeys, interacting with them. There's also other animals there as well. places to eat. But it's a great people and monkey watching place as well, just to get settled on your first full day in Bali. Naturally, there are some meals that aren't included in this trip, and most people, as they, as most people are coming as solo travelers, they'll connect and they'll have group meals by them together. Naturally, a lot of people just organically connected that way. I do like to encourage people to go other places besides the hotel. Where we're staying is great, but there's other food that's probably much cheaper on the street, like available in the different restaurants. I remember thinking that a $20 massage, no, a $30 massage was so cheap at the last resort we stayed at, when if I just left the resort, I could have paid 10. So I encourage people to explore a little bit. And I'll also give suggestions of things to do in the area in that travel guide. Then on day 3, this is going to be a more spiritual day. So we're going to have breakfast. You will not get to sleep in because we'll be on the road for most of the day. This will be an all-day event. And then we will do a hands-on offering, like the one you see pictured above day 3. So we actually get to learn more about the Balinese culture and their spirituality. We get to meet with a priest, who is our guide for the day and shares with us, his background. He actually even shares with us his family, because we're going to go to his family home for a meal later in the day. And we're going to do a traditional purification ceremony that day as well. So we're going to do a lot, but it's an educational and fun way to just immerse ourselves in the Balinese culture. All right, more noisy videos from our trip. I think this is me. I might be taking this video. I'm no videographer, but it was fun to ride on e-bikes and ride through rice paddies on e-bikes and explore Bali. So day 4, like I said, last year I jam-packed too much in, so I'm going to give people the opportunity to rest on day 4. I do list a bunch of optional activities, which I can help you book in advance, or we can figure it out when we get there and you see kind of what you want to do. Part of the reason I built in a free day is because last year there was something planned every day, and half of the group, or not half, 7 out of 10 people in the group decided they wanted to go on a sunrise hike to a volcano. It wasn't a volcano. I think it was like a hot spring. It sounded amazing, and I couldn't. It was my trip that I'm hosting, so I can't even like opt out of my activities, but I wanted to do that with them, and they chose to take a break from the regularly scheduled program to do that. So this will also be a time where people can just connect, and you can take a day of rest, or you can plan something amazing like getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, hiking to see the sunrise, and then spending the rest of the day at a hot spring. So that's day 4. Day 5, we are going to have another delicious breakfast, and then we are going to transfer to Seminyak. We are transferring by vehicle, so we don't have to worry about a flight or anything like that. And this will be a nice, easy day where we can learn more about the culture of Bali with our guide. Her name is Henny. She's great. She was with us all last time. And we can make stops along the way and explore while we head to our next destination of Seminyak. And then at night, a great opportunity to just get settled in, get acclimated at the villa, and also just explore the local beach area. I know that a lot of people, I think half of the people preferred Seminyak more because they have all these beach clubs, and the beach clubs are like open all day long, and there's pools, and there's performances, and there's a DJ at some point. It's just like an all-day club. It can be fun if that's what you're interested in. But there's definitely plenty to do in Seminyak, including shopping, massages. I probably had like a massage every other day, and more cultural things. On day 6, we will leave Seminyak, but not go that far, and we'll have fun with elephants in the mud. I'm thinking we're going to go back to the same place we did last year, which is actually a zoo. Which is actually a zoo. I've done elephant mud tours where it's just like we're walking through the woods and we see the elephants and then we leave, after hanging out in the mud with them for a couple hours. But the zoo was a really fun time because we got to spend the afternoon with other animals that are just native to Bali in that region. But also we had a really delicious buffet lunch that was included in that experience as well. I'm still deciding, but I'm leaning more towards that just because the elephants are very well cared for, and we'll get to really enjoy our experience with them and spend a good amount of time with them there. Okay. This is actually, that's Yvette. She was my roommate last year. But this is our cooking class day. So I selfishly want to do a cooking class everywhere I go, or a dance class, but usually a cooking class. So when we can, I'll include that in the excursions. And everybody who went to the cooking class really enjoyed it. Some people took the day to get a tattoo instead, but we had food for days left over after this cooking class. We even took it back to our group who didn't choose to join us. And it's just a great experience to like bond with a local person, learn about the culture, visit a market and see, if you ever move to Bali, you might need to know how to go shopping there. So you get to visit a local fruit, vegetable, food market and, learn about the unique spices there and the different offerings that they have. So yes, I always fit in a cooking class when we can. And that's usually a highlight of a trip, as Sandy probably can attest to. Sandy went on the Portugal and Spain trip and we did a cooking class the second to last day, and that was a hit with everybody as well. Day 8, we're gonna have more breakfast every day, having breakfast. I'm also considering not including breakfast because I know some people like aren't breakfast people, but I just like to include it just because. It's breakfast is usually the cheapest meal of the day. So it's not a big additional expense to the trip, but I welcome feedback from in the future about breakfast. We're gonna use day 8 to go on a temple tour. So some of the temples that you see below pictured are some of the places we'll be visiting. As you probably know, Bali has some of the most amazing temples. It's like so ingrained in their culture. They are such a loving, beautiful, spiritual, welcoming people that even though, I don't practice that religion, I just felt comfortable, safe, welcomed. And it's just really nice to see people come together in that space. So we're gonna visit a few temples that day. It'll be a day of, but a leisurely day. So some driving, but also lots of walking. Not a lot, enough walking, and some leisurely walking, and some touring and learning. Then for day 9, for people who choose not to stay, because some people actually do end up staying, or extending their trip or going to another place in Asia that might just be cheaper to travel to because you're already there. We will say our farewells and have our airport departure on day 9. There will be other things that, just might come up as surprise things along the way, but this is that minimum what you will get if you come to Bali. Okay, I am going to stop sharing. Oh, I'll stop sharing my screen. Actually, I want to start sharing my screen again. I forgot one more thing, and then I'll stop, and then I'll open up to questions. Okay. So this is just the final page for this trip. I forgot. I'm sorry, I haven't done these for a couple months because I've been traveling. So just an overview of what's included, and I'll go more quickly with the other two because I'm sharing a lot of details up front or just in general stuff. So this trip includes airport pickup and drop off. It's a 9-day 8-night trip. Daily breakfast, welcome dinner. There might be some other meals included that are not mentioned. Like I mentioned with the elephant mud tour, that includes a lunch. So I think that's the one we're going to go with. Luckily, food is really cheap. So in Bali, so you will not be breaking the bank with your lunch and dinner budgets. All of course, the transportation to everything that is on the itinerary is included. We are going to do a Balinese show, a monkey forest, a sacred offering, a dance lesson, a purification ceremony, market visits, the mud class, not mud class, the fun with mud fun with elephants, a cooking class, and sightseeing and market tours along the way. You also get a pretty cool swag bag, if I do say so myself. I pick all the things out personally, and I'm getting more fun stuff to include in those. A travel guide, and an on-ground team to make sure you have a great time and feel safe and supported. You just have to get yourself to and from Bali. I do always tell people to get travel insurance. I don't necessarily need you to send me proof of it. I'm just going to take your word as someone who values their investment. But I do always like to recommend it. I even offer to give people a free quote with my preferred travel insurance vendor. It's the same price if you choose to use mine or someone else's. They're all pretty much comparable. Also, sometimes your credit card will have travel insurance included if you pay for your entire trip on that credit card. Then any applicable vaccines. Right now, Bali does not have any. Meals not mentioned, and the personal stuff that you normally would take care of, you have to still take care of on this trip. I always tell people, give a guide about tipping, but that's on you if you want to actually tip. I know that the people in Bali could really use, and they appreciate, even if it's just like a couple of coins. That is your change that you add to their tip. Okay, I'll stop sharing for real and then just open up our conversation for any questions about Bali.
I have a question. So if time and money were no object and you could expand this trip to be like a month or something, what places might you add on?
Ooh, I would go to Vietnam. It's one of my favorite places. I don't know
Uh-huh. Are there other places within Indonesia that you would go?
I'll have to get back to you on that if you don't
Okay,
mind.
yeah, let's put a pin in that.
Yeah, we could talk offline, but yeah, I know people personally who've lived in Bali for a couple years, so also I might circle back with them and ask them.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great.
But
Because I think, I don't know if I would do it before or after, but typically if I go on a group trip, I add on some personal time on one end or the other. And I was thinking, oh, where else might I like to go?
I think you should do it both, a little bit on each side, just because as you know, when you travel very far, you might need a couple days to get acclimated. So I would
Well,
definitely do that.
this segues into my part B question, and then I'll be quiet because I didn't want to take up with all the questions. But for the East Coast people in the room, I was just wondering if anyone was going in early June to the P-Town Women of Color Weekend. Well, it's not Cape Cod. It's Cape Cod. Yeah. So I was just tossing that out there because that's early June. And I'm done. Those are my questions.
Oh, great questions. Yeah, we'll talk offline more about Bali because there's a great community there and I can help connect you. Also, I'm going, as you might know, from a newsletter, so I'll be there. And I've recruited a couple people to go, so they might not be on this call, but I know at least like 5 or 6 people that are going.
Oh, yeah, I would love to do that. So yeah, we'll talk offline about all the things.
Okay, awesome. And of course, anybody on this call, you're welcome to come to Women of Color Weekend. It's not my trip, but it's a great trip. I've been to it before and it's great people, great lineup. You just gotta get yourself there. They're actually I got an email the other day that they're at the end of this month, if you haven't booked accommodations, they have like blocks of rooms. And at the end of this month, they have to open them back up to the general public because they haven't filled them. So if, Carla, I don't know where you are in your planning process, but you might want to take a look at what their accommodations are. I got
Good
it
to
in
know.
DC, but I also booked that a year in advance.
Okay, good to know. I mean, not even a couple weeks, 1 week ago, I think I looked at Airbnb because I often do like a room in someone's home and I saw something that was there then. I don't know if it's there now, but I'll look at the end of today and book it if it's there.
Great. Love that. Okay. We are gonna, thank you for your questions. Any other questions about Bali or anything I've mentioned so far? Okay. We are gonna go into another icebreaker because I also like to use these sessions as a way to learn about people individually, as well as just like places they want to go, travel preferences. So I'm gonna ask 2 additional questions, maybe 3. I'm just coming with up with them off the top of my head. So as you might imagine, I'm already planning next year. So I would selfishly like to know, you can list up to 3 places. They can be domestic or international, but 3 places that you are interested in traveling to. They could be, it doesn't matter if it's a Lesbifriends trip or not. I just want to know where you want to go. And then I would also like you to tell me what is something that you have to pack when traveling. Like what's like, don't put your phone, like that's a cop out, but like what's something like you always need to pack? Like it could be a sentiment from home, like a picture of someone, a journal, yada yada yada. I'll go first, just because I like to lead by example. I would really like to go to Turkey. I had a layover there, but I don't think that counts. It was like a connecting flight. So I would really like to go to Turkey. I would also like to go to Honduras. Um, and then I want to go to Sudan. These are 3 places on my list. Hopefully, I will make them all in the next 3 years. And I'll share.
What do you like to take with you? You said,
Oh yeah, what do I like to take with me? Thank you. Gosh, I wasn't prepared for that one, even though I have it. I'm not a reader, but I'm a listener. Post law school, I just don't really read for pleasure anymore. But I always have an audiobook. And I have an audiobook. And I know this is kind of a cop out because I said nothing to do with your phone. But if anything, I'll choose my earpods because I need those to listen to my audiobook. That's like a way for me to like, I'm actually an introvert, so that's a way for like me to have me time, just like, if we're gonna be in a shuttle for 2 hours together, I want to talk to people for maybe an hour and then I want to just have me time for the rest of the time.
okay, I'll go. Um, Mine aren't as Paris, um, Hawaii, and that's because I had an opportunity to go to Hawaii a long time ago and didn't go. And locally, just Vegas. Just I've never been to Vegas. Go to Vegas. Um, so the next question was, what do we have like to take? Well, Lisa, having lost my oldest son, I have um, a a basketball uh, thing with his ashes. It has to go. My son travels. It has to go. Um, just take him with me, and a book. Honestly, a book because I like downtime as well. So, and just of note, the Spain trip was amazing. The Portugal, Spain was amazing.
Thanks, Sandy. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for everybody who's putting things in the group chat as well. Zenaida or maybe Talea.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can just read it if that's okay with you, Lisa.
Yes.
So Zanata says she wants to go back to Jamaica and always has to have sunglasses because you know what's a trip without sunglasses. Um, and then for me, I would love to go to Brazil, specifically to see like the remains, and things like that, like the pyramids and all of that, that are down there in Brazil. And then locally, I really want to go to Joshua Tree. I've been wanting to go to Joshua Tree for a long time in California. And then in the chat, I put a disposable camera because I just love the way disposable cameras look, and I just really kind of miss that. And then Sandy, I also relate to you because I also, whenever I travel somewhere new, I bring the necklace that I have with my grandmother's ashes in it, just because I'm like, girl, we gotta travel together. You gotta experience what, yeah, you gotta experience this too. So I always do that. And if I'm near like water, because she loved the ocean, I'll dip it in there for her.
Yeah. And if I could share for a second, Lisa, I actually joined Lesbifriends because of my son. When he was living, he was like, "Ma, you're a workaholic. You got to get out. You got to travel." And I think I told you, Lisa, for like 2 years, I kept following the group online. And once he passed, it was something I felt I needed to do, and I'm glad I did.
I love that. I love that. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you guys for sharing that. Great list. Carla, do you want to say yours out loud, or Cache, or
Sure. Let's see, where to go. Any place in East Africa, I would love to go to Tanzania. I'd love to go to Uganda. I'd love to go to any place in East Africa. And things I always pack. I always pack a vegetable peeler because when I was living in West Africa, like they didn't have like nice, comfortable ones. They had these little like skanky, nasty ones that like didn't peel in the right direction. And I just every time I go somewhere, I end up using it. So since I always end up using it, I always pack it. And folding hangers. I found them on Amazon, and it's just another one of those things that's super, super, super useful and super, super, super packable. And
good to
that's
know. I'm
that's what
gonna
I
look
always
into
take.
folding hangers, and yeah, good to know about vegetable peelers, but I don't know that I'm eating that many vegetables. So.
Well, I cook a lot for myself because I'm gone like months and months at a time. So I'm not always staying in hotels.
Understood. Thank you for that. Cache, I can talk for you. Cache would like to go everywhere outside of Europe. I understand. I understand. And must pack their mobile altar. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that. And then did I miss anybody? I think only so many people show up on my screen.
I didn't go, friend. I didn't go.
Oh, thank you. Please go.
Let's see. I don't know. I haven't been a lot of places, so I guess I want to go a lot of places. London, UK, Australia, Istanbul, Greek Isles, Hawaii, and I'm trying to think, what do I always have to have? Okay, I know it's weird, but like a Swiss Army knife. I always like to have it. For some reason, I always either need to cut something, open something, scissors. It always ends up coming in handy every time I travel. So I have to have it. And then I keep spares because every now and again they get taken, but most of the time they get through. So that's about it.
Okay. You'll be handy. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. All right. I think we all went. Thank you very much for this. Okay. Without further ado, because I'm sorry I was a little bit long-winded in the first one, we will get into our next share, which is our Caribbean cruise. And at least one person outside of me is going on this trip as well. So happy to go over this. Part of the reason I chose Bali and the Caribbean cruise is because these are the next two trips coming up. So now would be the time to get on these trips. Bali is in 2 months. So I'm only I have to finalize everything for that by the end of April. So if you are interested in Bali, reach out, even if you can't, make a deposit right now or make a payment. Just reach out, maybe just to let me know so that I can keep one of these extra rooms on if you need a little bit more time. But I'm trying to have my hard and fast cut off, by 2 months before the trip takes place. So just as a heads up about that. The cruise is a little bit different.
Got a hand up, Lisa.
Sorry.
Somebody had their hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just talk. I'm sorry because I
Ah,
can't see you.
my bad, Lisa. Is it my bad? Did the Bali and the cruise overlap, or is that my imagination?
They do.
Okay.
They do. So you can't go on both. You gotta pick, you gotta pick one. And spoiler alert, I will not be going on both either. I usually go on both on all of my trips, but I'm running out of vacation time one, and I'm just realizing sometimes I'm trying to build a community. And so this year is the first time I will be offering the opportunity to have trip leaders. So I'm the one of the people who expressed that they wanted to go back to Bali last year. They will be a trip leader for the Bali trip. So I will be there in spirit and I will be there in your group chat, but I will not be there in presence.
Ah, okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
But I will be on the Caribbean cruise. But yes, very good question. They do overlap. Hopefully, Carla, I will meet you in person soon, but not in Bali. Okay. So yes, the Caribbean cruise. The Caribbean cruise is a little bit different because I did not book rooms for people on the Caribbean cruise. The Caribbean cruise is you are not paying me, you are paying them. Virgin Voyages, who this cruise is through. So as long as Virgin has rooms available, you can sign up for this cruise. The price is just going to go up the closer we get to it. So if you are interested, I would say get on it. So far, there are 11 people going on the cruise, and so it's a nice group. It could just get bigger. But yes, we'll get into that. Okay, so I've never done a Virgin Voyages cruise, but I hear really good things. So needless to say, I planned it. I have a friend, Janice, who's actually my travel collaborating partner for this trip, who's been on Virgin Cruises before personally and has also had clients for her personal travel business who she has helped book Virgin Cruises for. And while Virgin is not necessarily a gay cruise line, they are hella gay. So we are going to be in great company, even if there's just 11 Lesbifriends on the trip. We are going to stand out, and we're going to be with we're going to just be with really good people because that's what I hear about the folks who come on this cruise. So Virgin Voyages is an adult only cruise line, and they offer luxury, like that's what they're promoting. So that's what this type of experience is going to be. I figured as a starter cruise with them, and this is my first cruise planning with Lesbifriends. I've been on cruises myself and had a really good time. Cruise is a different type of trip to plan because there's not a lot of planning to do. Like you kind of just can do anything. It's like a resort on the water because everything's included, the food, the shows. I should say most of the food. Some food is not included. Like if you want like a $20 smoothie with all the bells and whistles, they're going to charge you for that. Or if you want alcohol, they're going to charge you for that too. But the prices are still reasonable. But all of the shows, you can pick any activity you want on the ship, and that's going to be included. So some things we're going to be doing as a group, but then they're just because of the nature of a cruise, some things people are going to just do on their own. And if they really want to see a show, they can do that. So again, this cruise is from June 20th through the 25th. I know with cruises, some people like to get into the destination like a day early just to ensure that they'll be there on time. This boarding starts at 2 or 1:30, but I think all those slots are taken. So if you really did want to get to Florida on June 20th, you could still and make it just fine. I might risk it. I'm feeling froggy. Okay, so the ship that we're going to be on is called the Valiant Lady, which is a very modern style cruise ship. So I am actually, I mean, I'm an attorney, but like as part of my trip planning, I became a travel advisor, right? Like I have the credentials and stuff. And so in order to be able to sell Virgin Cruises, they make you do all this training. So I know a little bit about Virgin. I actually really appreciate their business model and the type of amenities and the experience they want people to have. I also, while I love kids, I have 4 godkids. I also love that this is child free. I love that there are just going to be adults and grown people on the ship, and we are going to be partying. And for those of us who drink, we are going to be drinking responsibly but heavily and all the things. That would be me. Don't judge me when I'm on a trip. Okay, so this is a very beautiful, beautiful ship with really nice amenities. I think everybody who's coming on this trip has a balcony room just because like it just makes sense. It just makes sense just to have like pay that few $100s extra, get that elevated experience. I will be on the balcony. Okay, but hopefully you won't even spend much of your time in your room because there's just so much to do on a Virgin cruise. There's 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 parties almost every night. If you want to treat yourself to a spa treatment, you can in their Redemption Spa. They even have a tattoo shop on site. Most of all of their restaurants are delicious and amazing. A lot are, what is the word I'm thinking of? I forget the word. It'll come back to me when I'm done with this call, but they're very good. Not Michelin star. I feel like they have had Michelin rated chefs on there, but it'll come back to me. Anyway, really good food I hear on all Virgin um cruises. But anyway, let's get into the itinerary. And because this trip is a little bit different than other trips, I've actually already started this group chat. So we're like a week away probably to like picking our dinner times, and we're already getting started chatting with one another, which is nice. But just so you understand the overview, you'll get to Miami Airport. Unfortunately, I can't get you to the ship. You got to get yourself there. But we will meet you on the ship and you will board, and that process will be very easy. And you will feel like royalty when you are ushered in with song and dance as you board the ship. Then you'll get settled in your room. And we'll have a small meet and greet the day everyone arrives, just to get like settled, and maybe we'll do a ship tour together. And then we will meet, we'll attend the sail away party because that's something that you have to do on a Virgin cruise or just any cruise. It's just fun to like go outside and watch the ship sail away from the dock. And then we will all meet for the welcome dinner at whatever the best restaurant on board. I'm gonna get us reservations as soon as reservations open up. I'm gonna be getting us the best reservation. And again, it's a cruise, so everything's included. You don't have to pay for, your meals. But we will plan to meet together. These are some things that I think the group would be interested. So the Misbehave show and the electric PJ party, those are 2 things people really enjoy when they first arrive. Day 2, breakfast, for those who want to eat together. And then I like to always do some sort of workout when I'm traveling on a cruise. Just makes me feel better. I'll burn the calories and then I'll drink them later. And then we will have lunch together or separately. We don't have to do everything together. I know it's a lot of togetherness on a cruise, but I feel like there are people who will want to, eat all meals together. And then there are some people who might just want to chill out and have some them time. And then just more shows that we can attend as a group. and dinner together. Dinner will be scheduled together every night, but if people want to do their own thing, they are welcome to. All things on a Lesbifriends trips are optional, but you're paying to come, so I would definitely recommend that you at least try. Carla asked, how big is the boat? How many people? Carla, great question. I have to double check that. I'll let you know by the end of this. But give me a moment to get that information. Sorry, I haven't looked into this for several months. So, but I do know it's 17 floors, 17 decks. So it's a nice size. It's a nice size ship. Not the biggest, but definitely not a small lake ship. Day 3, we arrive in Dominican Republic. And then I know not everybody likes to do excursions, so that will be optional. And again, we are going to be deciding that as a group in the group chat. So if people want to go like zip lining, they can, but if people just want to like go on a tour on a bus, they can do that too.
Lisa, it's 2,770 people capacity.
So 2,700.
2,770, yes.
Thank you. So that's, I guess, if it's all sold out. Thanks, Sandy, for
Yes.
that.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
No, thank you for coming up with that because I was about to Google it when I was pausing. That's helpful. So yeah, it's a lot of people. If it all even gets full, that just depends. I don't know cruise ships to sell out, so it's doubtful that all of those spaces will be booked. Also, that's the capacity. A lot of people choose to have their own room, so that's typically based on like as many people as can fit as possible. And yeah, so there will be less than that. We'll say about 2,000, be on the safe side. Okay. One thing that I like to mention, because this is a big draw to this is something that a lot of people who go on Virgin cruises talks about, is their Scarlet Night party where everybody wears red. I'm really looking forward to that. I already have a few red things in my shopping cart. It'll just be a fun time for everybody to get together, and we'll get to get dressed up and party together and show out a little. Day 4, we just spend a day in Dominican Republic, so we don't stay overnight or anything. We have to get back on the ship the same day, unfortunately. I'll probably be doing something, working out in the morning after brunch. I might even braid pickleball, which I know a lot of people are getting into these days. And then you can just have a leisurely lunch and do some exploring on the ship. I don't plan on getting a tattoo when I travel, because I made the mistake of doing that in South Africa, and now I'm paying to get it removed. But they vet their tattoo artists, so I'm sure the ones on the ship are very good. And then just more options to party, or just to have a leisurely dinner, whatever you feel. But again, dinners will be scheduled so we can be together as a group. And naturally and organically, we will be able to do things together on the ship, like go to the different shows. These are only some of the shows that I mentioned, but there's so many throughout the day. So there's lots of options. Then day 5, we actually get off the ship again. Yay. At Bimini, and this area, you can either do an excursion when you get off the ship, or you can stay right here at this private beach club that's featured for free. It's part of what Virgin offers its customers, and you can just hang out at the beach all day. Just a way to get off the ship and be in good vibes, a good place before our last day our last night on the ship before we head back into Miami. So that is the our Caribbean cruise. These are all the things that are included. I don't really need to repeat them. There's a lot. But I'll share that with you, just so you can see. And if you want to revisit and pause this slide, this is just an overview. There's over 20 restaurants. You can get a drinks package if you plan on doing a lot of drinking. It's a little bit cheaper if you get it ahead of time. Sometimes they have bonuses. Again, how Virgin works is if you're interested, you sign up through the website, and then I sign up through the booking portal. you are just paying Virgin directly, so you will get a link to make a payment with them. Virgin requires payment in full 120 days before the cruise, so at this point, you'd be paying in full if you did decide to go on this cruise. And I have honestly not looked at the pricing in probably a month, but I imagine it's comparable to what it was a month ago. If anything, it's going to be a little bit more. And if you chose to share a room with Virgin's, cabins are prices are per cabin, not per person. So if you book a cabin as one person, and it's listed at $3,000, you're paying $3,000. Whereas if you book it for two people, you're paying $3,000 divided by two. They just add on taxes and fees per person, so you might pay $3,250 divided by two if there's two people in your cabin.
Lisa, if you've already paid for the cruise, when's the last day you can add a second person?
Up until the day we leave.
Okay.
But don't do that to me. Maybe like a week.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Thanks. Just because you know I'm gonna be,
Yeah.
marrying.
Yeah, I know. No, if I'm gonna add her, she's gonna be added in the next couple. With my sister, it'll be the next couple of weeks. But
Okay. You know what? I didn't even tell y'all the price for Bali. I am so sorry. My silly mind. I will share with you the price for Virgin though. All the prices are on the website too, so my apologies. So single through triple occupancy, just again for the cabin, starts at around 2,500. This is for like a basic room. This is for a suite on the right-hand side. So I ain't no rock star yet, and I wouldn't suggest paying this price because that's just dumb. That's like 2-3 trips. But if you want to ball out, by all means, be my guest. Everybody who's coming on this trip has opted for a cabin over a suite, but I do like to just give all the options. Okay. And then last but not least, I'm just going to present Egypt and Jordan because I guess I've been a little bit long-winded. My apologies. And I just want you guys to have all the information. I definitely will be here longer for people who
Wait,
want.
I'm sorry. Did you give the price for the Bali trip?
I did not. Let me share that screen.
Lisa, are you looking that up? The Scarlet Night on the boat. That's dressy, right? Dressing up.
I mean, everybody wears red, to be honest.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
what I think what I've seen in most pictures and videos is people dressing up. So, but you don't have to wear a ball gown. You can just
Oh.
wear. I plan on wearing like a jumpsuit type of thing with
Okay.
flats, nothing super fancy,
Yes.
but little jazzy. And the Bali trip, sorry, I forgot to do this page. It's been a while, I'm out of practice. Double occupancy starts at 3,200 and single occupancy starts at 4,300. And that's just like if you get extras like trip insurance. But at this point, if you were to come on the Bali trip, I do offer a pay in full discount. And so, but that means you'd have to pay the entire balance.
By when?
Pay in full means when you sign up, you pay everything.
Oh,
If you want a
Oh,
payment
okay.
plan, which, gives you a little bit more time to make payments, then I don't do the pay in full. But if you pay in full, when you
but
sign
there
up,
isn't,
you save
but there
10%.
isn't a deadline to pay. I'm confused. I'm sorry.
So if you signed up tomorrow and you were ready to pay in full, the 3,200, the day you sign up, you would get 10% off,
I see. I
320,
understand.
but you'd have to
I
pay.
understand.
Yeah.
I understand. Okay.
So with trips that are like, 10 months down the line, most people do the payment plan. But if with this trip being right around the corner, if it makes sense for someone, I would suggest for them to do the pay in full. Then they could save a little bit more money.
Got it.
but not, but also I like a payment plan, so I am that person who's going to do that. Okay. I'm going to share with you Egypt, and hopefully I will make my 2:30 deadlines. Thank you in advance for your grace if I go over a little because I'm long-winded. I haven't talked to people in so long. It's just exciting to see people. Okay, we're going to Egypt and Jordan in September. I'm very excited about this trip. Two places I've been, and one of them is in my top. I think Jordan's in my top 5 actually, countries that I've been to. I would go, yes, I'm going back to Jordan. So I'm going back to both, but Jordan is definitely higher on the list. It will be a great experience. So much culture, so much history. We're just gonna like we are gonna experience history there, which is like the biggest, I think, draw for people. So we are staying in both places, a little bit more time in Egypt, but Jordan's right next door, and why not knock off 2 countries with one trip? So this is a 9-day adventure, and we're gonna see some pretty powerful sites. We're gonna see pyramids. We're gonna see Petra, one of the world's wonders. And of course, we're gonna see a bunch of ancient temples, and experience some amazing sunsets along the Nile River. So yes, I'm really excited about all of the places in Egypt and Jordan that we're going to. So this trip, we're gonna kind of be on the go. Trips are a little all different, but this trip there's gonna be a lot of movement just because we are gonna pack a lot of sites into our 9-day adventure. So we're gonna start off by staying near the pyramids of Giza. Um, which is going to be great because during the day you can literally look out your window and see pyramids. Like, how cool is that? The first hotel we're staying at is a mixture of luxury and historic charm, spacious rooms. Fortunately, unlike Europe, who does not give you much space in their rooms, we'll have plenty of room to spread out in Egypt. And then for the most part, I would say that my sentiments of Egypt is that it's pretty hospitable. In addition to just, having iconic sites, that you'll get warm hospitality from the people we're going to interact with. So a pretty comfortable place to stay. Again, we're going to be moving a little bit. So we are going to go from Egypt and spending our couple nights there to heading over to Petra. But don't worry, we're coming back. We're coming back to Egypt. But I just like to set up the accommodations first so you understand where we're staying. So where we're staying is more traditional when we go to Petra. But it's still luxurious and modern. But we just have to kind of get it into our first world mind that their standards are different than our standards. So what they call luxury, we might, just call okay. But I vetted all of our hotels, and they all have really great reviews, and we're going to get really good service at all of them as well. I wouldn't call this modern, but they call it modern, but it's modern according to their standards. Then, because who doesn't want to camp out or glamp out in the desert? We are doing one night in Wadi Rum, and we're going to have an authentic Bedouin experience with a touch of luxury. So we're going to stay in a bubble tent overlooking the desert as we camp out at night in the desert. So I did this when I went to Jordan before, and ignorant Lisa in 2010 definitely thought the desert was going to be hot. It was freezing. But I also camped out outdoors, so I'm very excited that I, got a little bit more coins and can afford a roof and whatnot and walls this time around. But this is a very nice camping experience, luxurious camping experience that we will also include on the trip. And then last but not least, just to round out our trip, we're gonna stay in Jordan's capital, mostly just to as a easier way to depart back home. But this is gonna be our last room or our last accommodations. As you can see, it's very modern. So we'll get to enjoy that. Okay, so what are we going to be doing when we get there? Again, we're doing half of the time in Cairo and half of the time in Jordan. We are going to arrive in Cairo and then we're going to have transportation is included to and from the airport on this trip. So once we get checked in to our hotel, we'll do a little meet and greet, and then we will head over and do a sunset at Cairo Tower. And then we will have an amazing welcome dinner to get acclimated with one another and find out more about who you'll be spending the next 9 days with. Day 2, after breakfast at our hotel, we'll do a half-day tour to the Giza pyramids and the Sphinx, as you can see pictured below. There is an optional Naya Pharaoh dinner cruise that you can add on. But if you just want to do your own thing or figure it out when you get there, I always welcome that. And I'm always happy to give suggestions of extra things to do. I know that traveling for a full day can be a lot. So if you don't want your first full day to be jam-packed, then I would say opt out of the Nile cruise and we can just visit the Nile at our leisure. Day 3, we're going to do a Cairo day tour to learn more about the city we're staying in. We're going to go to the Egyptian Museum, the Citadel, and Khan Kali Bazaar, which is a shopping district, and hopefully get some really good deals. I don't know who else likes to barter, but I will be that person who is offering a third of the price than what they're trying to sell something for. Then we have a free day in Cairo to explore at our leisure. Unfortunately, we're not building in a cooking class into this trip, but if you want to learn how to cook some Egyptian food, you can add that on at this really nice cooking class that I found at the Royal Great Pyramid Restaurant. Then we are going to head out on day 5, we're going to leave Egypt and head to the airport and fly into Petra in Jordan. And then we will transfer to our hotel and get checked in so that we can have an evening to have a leisurely dinner and explore the area that we're staying in. On day 6, after breakfast, we're going to Wadi Rum. Actually, I'm sorry, I'm a day ahead. We're going to do a tour of the Rose City, the Red Rose City. Petra. I'm sorry. We're going to Petra to see I think it's still listed as one of the 9, or is it 10? The 10, darn it. It's escaping me. Not the major sites, but the world wonders. I think they changed the list, so I don't know if it still counts, but it's definitely worth seeing this amazing site. And then there will be free time to do some things, which I suggest below. We have 3 more days. So on our day 7, we're going to Wadi Rum, our next stop. And we will do a very scenic Jeep ride with an optional camel ride that if you want to ride a camel. And then we will get settled into our next accommodation, which is our Wadi Rum camp. So this is the outdoors glamping under the stars. Then our last day, we will head to Amman and we will check into our last hotel, have breakfast, and then visit Mount Nebo and do a Dead Sea visit before having a farewell dinner. And then unfortunately, we have to end our trip and we will be flying out of Queen Alia International Airport. So this trip is a little bit different than the other trips. We are flying into and out of 2 different airports. But I do make that clear. And again, I'm happy to do some searches for flights with people who do end up, coming on these trips if, you want to just have an extra set of eyes to go over things. This trip, lots of excursions, as you can see, and some built-in free time, but trying to maximize our time here. Again, if you have enough vacation time, and you want to add in some extra time in Egypt or somewhere else in Africa, like Carla is going to do in Bali, I welcome it. I probably will only be arriving a day early and leaving a day late just to make sure I'm there on time. And everybody's acclimated. Again, always breakfast is included, all the transportation, all of the activities that are mentioned that don't say optional are included in the package, as well as the travel guide and everything else mentioned. You just mostly have to get yourself to and from Egypt and Jordan, and then you will take it from there. This this trip starts at $2,800 for double occupancy. As is, double occupancy means 2 people in 1 room with either 2 beds or 1 bed. You just let me know your preference when you book, so that I can make that arrangement with hotels when confirming. And then if you did want to get your own room, it's actually not that expensive in Africa. So for an additional $800, you could have a single occupancy room. Okay. And then the last 2 slides that I have not shown yet. So just as a token of my appreciation for you spending part of your afternoon with me. And I know that you haven't had a chance to do this because you already signed up for the trip. So I'll apply this I'll proactively apply this to your trip, Carla. But I'm offering people a $100 discount if you book a trip in 2025. This is my first info session of the year because I've been traveling. I haven't done these yet. So I'm excited to offer this small discount. It might only cover tips or something or a couple souvenirs, but every bit helps. So you can use that if you do decide to book a trip with us. I can't take anything off the cruise because I don't have a hookup on the cruise. You're paying Virgin. They don't give me any discounts, unfortunately. So that's the only thing this doesn't apply to. And yes, just to thank you for being a part of the community now. And I look forward to traveling with you guys, you coming on a trip, seeing you out in public somewhere, going to Women of Color weekend if you choose to hang out on that trip as well, all the things. All right. And presentation officially.
Oh, so just quick. You were
Yeah.
talking about the $100 off. Would that be in combination with paying in full?
No, unfortunately, I can't.
Okay, alrighty,
One discount.
fair enough. Just asking, you gotta ask,
It doesn't
right?
hurt to ask. I be asking for all the discounts. I'm an Airbnb host and I still ask Airbnb hosts for discounts. It cannot hurt to ask. I appreciate the question. And we're not done talking. I'm just officially ending the presentation portion. So if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them. You guys are easy, so easy. I will also, if you guys have questions, I'm very accessible. As many of you know, I like to, email is my preferred method of communication because then I could refer back to an email later on. I put my personal cell phone number in my signature line, so y'all have that to text. If you're a texter or if you just want to give me a call and if I'm available, I will answer. Just don't do it at
Wait,
2 o'clock in the morning.
I'm sorry, all I heard was your personal cell phone number. Do we have it or you're gonna give it when we
Oh,
register?
it's in my signature line. You already have it. If you've ever gotten an email from me,
Oh, okay, got it.
that's my
Okay,
personal cell phone.
okay,
I've been
got it.
told not to put my personal, but I don't want to carry 2 phones. So right now it's my personal. So so you have access to me is what I'm saying. So you can text or call. I prefer
Don't
email.
knock the 2 phones until you've tried it.
I have 3 phones.
I have 3 phones, but I'm about to have 2 because I retired. I have 3 phones. No, I have 3 phones. I get it.
It's a
I
lot.
agree.
Anyway, well, yay for
Well,
getting rid of one of your phones, Carla. Congratulations on your retirement.
hey Lisa, on the Greece trip, I've seen these pictures where people are standing at the top of this thing with these beautiful gowns on. Is is that part of something we could do on the trip,
It's
or
it will be a part of an offer, like an additional add-on. As you know, not everybody who comes on these trips are feminine presenting, and
yeah, I
so
know that's why I was asking. That's why I was asking, and
yeah,
no, well, my question wasn't are we doing it as a group, but the place where we're going in Greece, is that where they normally take these pictures?
yes,
Oh,
yes, it's Santorini. That's part of the Greece trip.
okay. I just always have seen these the tattoo artist that does my tattoo. She has a beautiful picture in this golden gown, and I was like, oh my god, it's so in this purple gown. It was so pretty.
Oh, nice.
So I'm
Um,
thinking about Greece.
okay, well, well, not. You'll see in a couple of days, but I'm actually altering that trip just a little. There's only one person signed up so far, and they're amenable to the change. So maybe just wait a couple weeks before you revisit it.
Yeah.
You
Well,
can
I have to wait. I have to wait for that other thing anyway that I was telling you about. But I was interested in the Greece trip. So
Okay, I'm making it cheaper, so I'm changing the trip to make it cheaper. Yeah, I'm changing it around a little bit.
yeah,
So,
because I think you'll see me what June, July, August. Yeah.
yay. I look
I
forward to
love the
it.
idea of the oh, and that's one thing. No, I think I just saw it on the family reunion thing. The add-on is once you do the thing, then you do the add-on later. So
Well, you gotta tell me if you want the add-on. You can pay for it later, but I only bought 8 tickets to that. So, and we got 6 people going on the trip so far.
okay.
So I just need to
Is that
know.
something you've done before, or are you planning to do it, the add-on thing?
I've never been to the Salamander. It's too rich for my blood. That's why I'm making it a Lesbifriends trip because some people just it's like I make Lesbifriends trips because I want friends who will go with me places.
Yeah, yeah.
All my friend, I sent it to my friend who is so fancy. She does everything. She's like, nope, I don't got it. It's a $7,000 trip if you stay there at the
Yeah,
Salamander. So
yeah. When I went on their website, I was like, "Wait, is this the same trip?" Like, oh my god, it is. It was. I wouldn't have been able to go without.
yeah, so I got an Airbnb the day the trip dropped,
Hmm.
the day they released it, and
Hmm.
4 Airbnbs that I contacted had already sold out the same day. So I was like, let me just get the big house. I can do this. I can fill this trip.
Yeah. Are you doing the extra piece to
Yeah,
it? Yeah,
yeah.
not that. I think it's worth it just to experience it. So, yeah. And I saw it's like 2 things left, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and sign up.
Yeah, if I don't know if anybody's been to, sorry for people who are not in the DMV, but the Salamander is like one of the like a luxury hotel. I've only been there they have one in DC and one in Middleburg, Virginia, which is like a $600 a night hotel, like for a discount. And so they're doing this thing they call the family reunion that they've done 4 years before. And it's like a culinary experience with like the top chefs. Anyway, I've been to the restaurant in DC and I paid $300, no, maybe $400 for a meal for 2 people just for like an appetizer, entree. I don't even know if we got dessert. So that is the type of dining excellence hopefully we will be experiencing without, like, I mean, it costs, but, it won't be that costly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
yes, we can talk more about that later, Sandy. Sorry, I don't think I'm presenting that on an info session. So, because I have like 3 spots left
Okay.
or four spots. So,
Yeah. So once I sign up, I send you an email telling you I want the extra.
yeah, and we can add that on later.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody else have any questions about the things I presented or other trips? I'm sorry I have to space them out because I'm long-winded. So next week I'm gonna do another information session with 3 different ones. If you're interested
I
in,
guess I gotta join that one because I was interested in hearing about the Pennsylvania camping trip. But I also wanted, you don't have to answer any of this stuff because I'm about to hop off and we're already past time. But I wanted to know about the Pennsylvania trip. I also wanted to know more about the trip leader stuff, but I will send you a DM for that. And I also wanted to know, are you doing any education, Lisa, in these sessions around traveling internationally now? You know, it is different. It's a bit more fraught. And especially returning from certain countries. I think that, and especially as queer folk, and I know if you're femme presenting, that may not be an issue, but for someone like me and some of the other folks that are traveling, it could be a bit more of an issue. And so I think just that could be a good additional uh piece. And I know it's already a long session, right? So I don't know how that fits in. Maybe it's like once folks have already signed up or something on the website. I don't know, but yeah.
well, it's not like an official part of thank you for that and thank you for expressing interest in that. I think different perspectives are definitely always appreciated and I want to hear what people want. It's not like an official part of any presentation, but there's always an education component. I will make it more official moving forward and definitely include it per country. As you know, we travel to Puerto Rico. Like I traveled to Puerto Rico with you. That's, we're still in the US, but in these other countries that we're going to and coming back from, yes, I do have an educational component about like laws, queer life, but I will make sure to now also include like coming back into the United States, like, as much information as there is available on that, like for me personally and what I can find through research and through, word of mouth, I will share that. But it's going to be addressed in individual information sessions when people have already signed up for the trip, when we're learning more about the details for that trip. So it won't be offered to the general public right now, maybe in the future, but I can do that for each of the individual trips. So for people going to Egypt and Jordan, that will be a component of our virtual trip kickoff that we do at least a month before the trip.
Yeah. Have
Yeah,
you
that sounds good. Yeah, because I'm more concerned now these days about actually returning
absolutely.
than about leaving or being in the other countries. So
Yeah.
yeah, but that's okay. Thank
Have
you.
you experienced any difficulties in the trips you've done since this new administration in coming back in, Lisa?
Not personally, but as a feminine presenting person, I realize that it's just different for me. And the 2 internet places I've traveled internationally are Brazil and Nicaragua. Um, I did get not hung up, but when I flew when I flew into Nicaragua, they did ask me a little bit more about my time in Brazil because I did put that on their customs form that I had traveled to Brazil within the past month. But it didn't hold me up. It was just like, a couple additional questions. So I haven't experienced anything coming in, but I realize my experience might be very different. Also, I would highly suggest everybody downloads the, what is that? It's not Global Entry. You have to pay for Global Entry. So get Global Entry if you can. That just makes life a whole lot easier coming back. It's a process and it's an investment in travel, but it also lasts, I think, 10 years. Um, so I would get Global Entry just to make facilitating coming back much easier. But also they also have an app. I think it's called, darn it. There's an app that you
clear?
can, I'm sorry,
Is it
Global
clear?
Passport.
Okay, okay.
That you can download on your phone and you have to typically I set it up before coming back, but literally when you come back, if you don't have Global Entry, you open the app as soon as you come back, and it makes getting through passport control that much easier.
You said if you don't have global entry.
If you don't have Global Entry. Global Entry is like the golden ticket. I came back from Nicaragua. I was the only one in line for Global Entry. So I just They just waved me through. I looked at a machine, they'd scan my face, they just waved me through. It was, I don't know, 30-second process. And some credit cards will cover your global entry fee. You just have to look into that. Typically, credit cards that are associated with travel or that you might pay like a annual fee to have, they might have cover a portion of that and or TSA PreCheck or Clear.
So if you have a global entry, you really don't need Clear or
Well, global entry also includes TSA PreCheck,
okay.
so you don't need Clear because it includes PreCheck. But that's getting out of the country. Global entry is coming into the country. So PreCheck, TSA PreCheck is just leaving. It just makes it easier. It's a different line, honestly. And I like it because you don't have to take off your shoes or take out your laptop.
Okay, so you would suggest global entry and a TSA PreCheck?
Yes. It might cost you $200 and it will save you several hours off of waiting.
Okay.
Like, yeah, several.
Do you know if does it take a long time to get it?
So you apply online, you know, they might ask you, sorry, I did this like several years ago, but I feel like they asked you some for your employer information, for your social, you might even need to upload an ID.
I've done it in the past 6 months.
Oh, Amber, please share.
Yeah, so I did the global entry and it does include TSA PreCheck. I believe it was about $100. It's only good for 5 years now. But so when you do the application, it usually doesn't take that long to get approved online, but the hard part is trying to get the appointment, the verification appointment. So once you get approved, once your application gets approved online, it'll then take you to a portal to try to get an appointment at one of the global entry approved areas, the airport, any of the international airports. That was the hard part. It probably took me about 2 or 3 weeks of refreshing and signing up for free alerts to actually get the appointment. And of course, you kind of had to take whatever appointment time was given. But I was even willing to like go to, Atlanta, make a day of it, come back, do the appointment. But I ended up getting one in Charlotte. But it took about 3 weeks to actually get an appointment. And I believe they release appointments like the first Monday of every month. But then if you don't catch that, you're literally online refreshing and looking and catching the alerts trying to get the appointment for the global entry. So that's the hard part.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing that. That is very helpful. I will say this, I'm not sure if it's the same process because I did mine several years ago. But once you do get the pre-approval online, if you are traveling internationally, sometimes you can get an appointment on the spot coming back into the country. So when I did this initially, again, I don't know how many years, maybe 5 years ago, I was approved online. I don't know if I had an appointment or maybe I had an appointment like a couple months later. But when I came back, I was told that because I was pre-approved, I could just go on the global entry line and they would do the interview right there. And the interview lasted like less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, the interview's super short. I was there for like 5 minutes and I was in and out.
Okay. And I don't mean to keep asking questions, but with global entry going out, I know you don't need it going out, but are you still able to go through the pre-check TSA pre-check line with it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's worth it. Okay. And if Lisa keeps planning these amazing trips, I'm gonna need it. So
Yeah, global
I bet it's
entry
Sandy.
that really is the golden ticket. That covers everything everywhere. The problem
yeah,
with TSA pre-check is that it only covers United States. So,
yeah.
um,
Well, but the thing was, because when we went to Spain, I mean, like you and Kelly were like, I mean, Kelly was like, gone. Thank you for, because it was my first trip, but Kelly was like, gone. Like it took no time. So I was like, okay, maybe I need to do this. So thank you. Thank you for answering the questions, everybody.
No problem. All right. Oh, I love when people share information. Yay.
And I would just like to say, if there's anybody on the call that has not traveled with Lesbifriends, it is so amazing. Lisa does all the grunt footwork. You can just pay and enjoy it. So that's just my PSA.
Go ahead. Sell it to me, Sandy. Sell it to me.
Absolutely.
Keep
Let me
talking.
tell you. Let me tell you.
Keep talking. I love
I
it.
had never traveled internationally before. Like I said earlier, my son, before he passed, was like, "Ma, you work too hard. You got to do this." And I chose Spain and Portugal for my first trip, and it owes me nothing. It owes me absolutely nothing. As right down to the packing list, because I remember the one thing I didn't think of was, and Lisa put it on the packing list, was the adapter, the plug-in adapter for your phone. I mean, I like packed my phone thing, and then I looked at the list and I was like, oh my God, my charger isn't going to work. So um, it was very helpful, just everything answered, and Lisa's availability, even with helping me to, because like I said, I never traveled internationally, helping me with my flight stuff. It was just amazing. So if you have never traveled with Lesbifriends, it is totally worth it, all of it.
Thanks, Sandy. And I didn't pay Sandy to say that, but
No, you just had, it was amazing time, so it was absolutely worth it. So yes.
thank you all. Hopefully I'll get to know the people who haven't traveled yet. Whether you come on a trip or not, hopefully we'll cross paths at some point. I think that's it I have to share. Um, unfortunately, I have to go. Unfortunately, I have a meeting with someone who tried to join an info session because as a man, and I was like, this, and they said, I'm not queer. I'm just curious about the group and the things. I was like, you cannot come to an info session.
Yeah, like
That is
stay in your lane.
But I did offer him an opportunity to meet one-on-one. So we're meeting in 10 minutes. I don't know what this man's gonna ask me, but I'm gonna try to tell him my truth. And it's from an EDU, so he was emailing from a university's email address. So maybe he's just doing research. I don't know, but
Maybe there's a group on campus or something that he wants to present it
maybe
to.
I like how you think, Sandy. We'll go with that.
There's a lot of, like, even the travel, if you're trying to get a travel something degree or something, maybe he sees that as, an entry into that. So
We like that. Yeah, okay.
you're not trying to stay positive.
I'm like stranger danger. No, I'm about
That's
to
my
Google you.
sister.
I'm
That's
like,
my
nope.
sister. My sister always go for no. Who is he? Do
I'll
a
be like,
background
no.
check.
No, background check.
Absolutely.
Look you up on the school website. No.
Yeah. Yeah, look him up and Google him and everything. But Lisa, I thank you again for another amazing lesson.
Thank you all.
It's,
Sandy, we're connecting offline. I know Carla, we're gonna connect offline. Amber, you won't get an email from me anyway, so I'm
gonna get an email from you. Okay, I got you.
But no, thank you for everybody. I think I lost Talea and
Carla. Anybody going on the cruise? I'll see you.
You'll see them other places too. But we'll talk. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. It's friggin' beautiful in DC. I hope it's beautiful where you guys are at too, Carla, Oregon, Amber,
Charlotte.
Okay. Yes. I know you have better weather than us, so enjoy it.
It's about 77. As soon as I get off work, I'm about to head out there.
Oh.
Be outside for a little bit.
We're 79, so we're a little bit better. No.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I'll let you have that.
Thank you so much.
Zenaida and Talia, you're still here.
Definitely.
Look forward to meeting you as well, Zenaida.
Yes, y'all too. Thank you so much. I look forward to talking to y'all again. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
People. See you later.
Bye.